Frieza plans to wipe out Goku and even the gods of destruction using the primordial beast. Hello guys, today we're finally going to talk about Chapter 4 of the Dragon Ball Hakai colored panel. But before we begin, make sure to hit that like button so you'll always stay updated with content like this. In the previous chapter, we saw Goku starting his training with Vados. Luckily, he was able to complete the first stage of destruction training. And now, that brings us to Chapter 4 of Dragon Ball Hakai. The first panel takes us straight to Planet Hale, where Frieza has just arrived along with two of his followers. Their destination? A secret hideout. As the three of them enter, one of Frieza's men recalls the very first time Frieza's father brought him to this place to deal with a mortal. Frieza responds, saying it's been such a long time since he last visited this place. His father had built this prison to contain mortals that he considered pests. After all these years, Frieza is finally returning here once again. The moment they arrive, Frieza is greeted by a large group of Saiyans who immediately kneel before him out of respect. Frieza then remarks that although he has countless soldiers who fight to keep his hands clean, if these mortals ever escaped, all of it would become meaningless. At this point, Frieza's right-hand man begins to speak. He reveals that decades ago, King Cold's first army was actually led by his eldest son, Cooler, Frieza's older brother. Together with his trusted warriors, Cooler was eventually captured and locked inside this very structure. This prison was specially designed to contain Cooler's incredible power. Back then, Cooler was already extremely powerful and had proven himself many times while serving under King Cold. But as the years passed, he grew even stronger. So strong that King Cold began to fear him. Eventually, the day came that King Cold feared the most. Cooler had surpassed him in strength. Afraid of losing his throne, King Cold made a plan together with Frieza to finally subdue and imprison Cooler. And now, we see Frieza making his way back to the place where Cooler has been sealed away all this time. And here, we finally see Cooler, sealed inside a containment capsule, unconscious and completely paralyzed. According to one of the mortals, Cooler is kept in this state by advanced technology that continuously suppresses his power and prevents him from escaping. Frieza then speaks, saying, "Yes, that's my older brother." He even congratulates Kikuno for successfully keeping Cooler imprisoned in the capsule for so many years. But then, Frieza adds that he actually wants Cooler to be released, and this time he'll be the one to handle him. Kikuno hesitates and asks if Frieza is really sure about this plan. He warns that once Cooler is freed, they may never be able to seal him back again. But Frieza just laughs and replies, "Don't be foolish. Cooler used to be stronger than me in the past, but after all these years, I've grown far beyond him. The idea that he could defeat me now is impossible." Because of Frieza's confidence, Kikuno finally releases Cooler, and within just a few minutes, Cooler's body quickly recovers to normal. The moment he wakes up and sees Frieza, he immediately goes berserk. Frieza greets him mockingly, "How are you, my beloved brother?" But Cooler responds with anger, "Who do you think you are, Frieza, to stand before me like this? And where is our father?" Frieza calmly replies, "I'm sorry I didn't inform you sooner, but our father has long been dead." Cooler refuses to believe it. He demands to see the face of their cruel father with his own eyes. But Frieza tells him the shocking truth. Believe it or not, father was killed by a Saiyan. Cooler is stunned. "Are you serious, Frieza? Those filthy monkeys, we defeated our father." Frieza continues, "You're not updated on what's been happening, brother. You've been locked away in that capsule for too long. Let me tell you, the Saiyans are far stronger now than both you and me. Hard to admit, but there's even one Saiyan alive today who has surpassed us both." Cooler refuses to believe Frieza's words. "Don't take me for a fool." But Frieza insists, "This is exactly why I came here. The Saiyans are becoming a threat to us. With every passing day, they grow stronger. That's why I want to join forces with you, Cooler. Together, we can build an empire powerful enough to stop them. This is the only way to eliminate the Saiyans." But instead of agreeing, Cooler bursts into rage. "Join forces with you? I'd rather kill you right here, Frieza, and destroy those Saiyans you speak of." Cooler then unleashes an overwhelming surge of power, shocking everyone around him, and charges straight at Frieza. But to his surprise, Frieza effortlessly blocks his attack without even breaking a sweat. Frieza then spoke, saying he was surprised that Cooler hadn't lost any of his strength despite being imprisoned for such a long time. But now, Frieza declares that he has become far stronger than his brother. At that moment, Frieza unleashes a massive surge of energy and transforms into Golden Frieza. Cooler is completely shocked at what he sees. He asks, "How did you become this powerful, Frieza?" Frieza responds, "I mastered this technique just a few years ago, and if you want to learn it too, I can teach you, but only if you agree to work with me. We cannot allow the Saiyans to rule over this universe." After hearing this, Cooler finally agrees to join forces with his younger brother. Hours later, the two of them board Frieza's spaceship. Cooler looks around and admits he's impressed. "This is quite the ship. I've never traveled in something like this before." Frieza explains, "Kikuno is in charge of this vessel. Not only is it fast and massive, but it also has its own training area, perfect for us to train during long journeys." But then, Cooler notices a mortal sitting quietly in the corner. Curious, he asks Frieza who the mortal is. Frieza answers, "That's Linzer, from planet Yardrat." Cooler looks unimpressed. "He doesn't look powerful. Is he one of your elite soldiers?" Frieza shakes his head. "No, but this mortal has a special ability that will be very useful to us in the future." Cooler then presses for answers. "So, what exactly is our plan?" At this point, Frieza shows Cooler a special list, their targets, which he refers to as beasts. Frieza explains, "Aside from you and me, I've also chosen powerful warriors who have the potential to defeat the Saiyans on Earth. Together, they are what I call the beasts. With them at our side, we won't just overpower the Saiyans, we'll even be able to challenge the gods of each universe." Hearing this, Cooler is caught off guard. "Gods? What do you mean by the gods of the universes?" Frieza smirks. "I'll explain everything in detail tomorrow. For now, just know this. Many beings exist today who are stronger than the Saiyans. And these so-called gods, they're nothing more than dictators who hold our lives in their hands. But the beasts I've chosen, they have the power to overthrow even those gods." Cooler frowns, still uncertain. "I don't know if I fully understand what's going on, but you'd better explain more about these beasts. I want to know exactly how strong they are." As Cooler scans through the list, one name catches his attention. He recognizes a familiar figure and blurts out, "Wait, could that be Majin Buu, the legendary maniac who wiped out hundreds of civilizations? My army once spent years investigating whether he had truly been revived. But our father ordered us never to touch that beast, even if it returned." Frieza then explains that these beings are called the primordial beasts. They are ancient deities that have been hidden away for countless ages. He admits he doesn't know everything about them yet, but he's certain that they have the power to defeat even a mighty god of destruction. As for Majin Buu, Frieza reveals a shocking detail. Long ago, millions of years in the past, a sorcerer named Bibidi managed to use only a fragment of Buu's true power. Even that small fraction caused catastrophic destruction across the universe. Years later, Majin Buu was unleashed again, but this time the Saiyans were able to defeat him. Still, Frieza claims that a massive portion of Buu's power has never been awakened, and that's exactly what they will use to gain the upper hand in their war. Cooler, still curious, asks his brother, "Where did you even learn about these strange beings? How did you discover them?" Frieza smirks and replies, "One of my men captured a mortal named Zuno, the being who knows everything about the universe, and even about the entire multiverse. I forced him to tell me everything he knew, and that's where I learned about the primordial beasts. I asked him to summarize all the knowledge he had on them, and now, I know it all." Frieza then points to another name on the list and says, "This one is Janemba. He will be the first beast we hunt down." Cooler smirks with excitement. "Then let's begin. I want to see these primordial beasts with my own eyes." Almost a month passes as Frieza's ship travels toward their destination, while Cooler spends every day inside the training room. Eventually, Frieza himself comments, "It's been 1 month since you started training. You've grown stronger so quickly. It took me nearly 3 months to reach the same level." Cooler confidently replies, "Of course, after all, I am the great Cooler." Frieza narrows his eyes and adds, "Don't think I'll ever take my eyes off you. The moment you surpass my power will be the moment I end you." But before the tension can rise further, one of Frieza's soldiers rushes in and announces that they've arrived at their destination. Frieza and Cooler immediately step out of the training room to assess the situation. Frieza looks ahead and explains, "That rift up there, it leads into a parallel dimension known as the Demon Realm, or Hakai world. And within that place, we will meet our newest ally." Kikono, worried, speaks up. "Lord Frieza, even though our ship is incredibly durable, the rift itself could still destroy it if we attempt to enter. That's why we'll need Linzer's help to teleport us safely into the rift." Cooler doubts whether Linzer can really teleport such a massive spaceship into another dimension. But Frieza's right-hand man explains that the Yardratians are known for having countless techniques, and one of their specialties is instant teleportation. Normally, it would be impossible to warp a ship this size, but Linzer is no ordinary Yardrat. He's a prodigy, with refined skills far beyond the average of his race. Moments later, Linzer proves it. With ease, he teleports the entire ship into the rift, shocking Cooler, who finally admits, "So this is why we brought this little insect along. His skill is reliable after all." As they enter the dimension, they're immediately ambushed by a swarm of monsters. Kikono quickly activates the ship's barrier, shielding them from the onslaught. "Don't worry, my lord," Kikono assures. "This barrier won't be broken by creatures like them." Frieza then recalls Zuno's words. Janemba is nearby, sealed within a stronghold deep inside this realm. At their current speed, it will only take a few hours to reach it, but they should expect battles along the way. Minutes later, they arrive at the outer gate. One of Frieza's men signals Linzer to teleport them past the defenses, and in an instant, the squad materializes inside enemy territory. Waiting for them is a demon, laughing menacingly. Frieza sneers and tells Cooler, "Look at that weakling. He actually wants to fight us. Why don't you let your soldiers handle this one, Cooler? Let's see if they're really as reliable as you say." Cooler turns to his troops. "Don't you dare embarrass me." The demon charges, but one soldier scans its power level and reports, "Only 200,000. We can handle this." At once, the troops shout to activate a Tactic Battle 16, their coordinated formation. Frieza observes with mild amusement, "I remember this division. They once crushed the Ginyu Force. No wonder they're feared across the universe." The demon's assault is blocked, and Cooler's soldiers begin to strike back. Frieza comments on their strengths. Dor has raw power, strong enough to fight gigantic creatures head-on. Knees may not be skilled in combat, but his paralysis ability can disable even the strongest fighters. And Captain Salza, his Kai blade can slice a mountain in half. He's one of the strongest warriors they have. Working together, Dor, Knees, and Salza overwhelm the demon and bring it down. Cooler smirks and asks, "Well, Frieza, do you still doubt my men?" Frieza replies, "Not bad, let's move on." But the demons nearby whisper in shock. "They actually defeated that monster, one of our strongest guardians. It took us years to find and tame that beast." One demon considers reporting to the Celestial Guardians, but their leader forbids it. "No, we've been confined here for too long. If we defeat these intruders, we can claim the title of Celestial Guardians ourselves." Another monster growls, "These invaders aren't gods. We can crush them. Leave this to me." As Frieza's group advances deeper inside, they encounter the second Guardian. Frieza smirks. "So this is the one guarding Janemba. Interesting." But the demon snarls. "Fools! You think you can control Janemba? That monster is beyond anyone's control." Frieza snaps back. "I've controlled the Saiyans before. I'll do the same with him." The demon laughs. "Don't compare Janemba to those monkeys. You don't know what you're dealing with." Frieza's eyes narrow coldly. "I don't care who or what you are. Stand in my way and you'll be erased." At his command, Frieza's soldiers rush forward, expecting another easy win. But they're wrong. The demons counter effortlessly, and even Frieza's strongest troops begin to falter. One soldier scans their enemy and gasps. The power level reads 120 million, far beyond what they anticipated. Cooler glares at Frieza. Are you sure you gave your soldiers the right equipment? Frieza replies, that's the most advanced tech in the entire universe. But this is the problem. We mortals can now hide their true power. Not even our scouters can detect them accurately anymore. On the battlefield, Cooler's most elite warrior is crushed in defeat. Cooler clenches his fists, his voice cold with fury. Pathetic. To see my soldier fall so easily, he failed to detect the enemy's true strength. But even if he used every strategy he had, it wouldn't have been enough. These creatures are far too strong. Cooler steps forward, his aura erupting around him. Enough! I am the great Cooler. Prepare yourselves. You will fall by my hand.